Okay, this is Ms. DB, and this assignment is the Desmos is for more than just graphing assignment. This has two purposes. One is to just practice using another graphing tool, an algebra graphing calculator tool, and another one is to see some other things that you can do with Desmos. So I've opened up Desmos on the left side of the screen, and it's just desmos.com, and then you click on graph. And then on the right side is the worksheet. So the directions are all on the worksheet, and I think you'll be able to follow along just fine. But there's a problem, and let's say that this was a problem that we did in week 3 where we did our solving equations review. And here's the work that someone did to solve that equation. So what we're going to do is use Desmos to check if the answer is correct. So in Desmos, we're going to type the entire equation, just like that, into our first line and see what we notice, because it says, what do you notice? So let's find this out. So 3x minus 5 equals negative 26. So I typed it in, and it turned, as I was typing, you probably could see it moving around, it turned it into a solid vertical line. And the equations of vertical lines are x equals, and then that number. And that number is the solution of our equation. So what you might notice is that it's a vertical line going through at x equals negative 7, which tells us that this person solved this equation correctly because they got the same value as Desmos got. All right, let's turn. In Desmos, you can delete, or you can just turn off, which is actually super handy. Let's try another one. This person got solved this quadratic. We haven't done quadratics in here very much. We did just a little bit when we did those proportions, but we will be doing more quadratics this semester. So this is going to come in very handy when you do your quadratics. If you zoom out, which you can do by scrolling, doesn't look like a quadratic because we put the equal. Before we put the equal 27, it did look like a quadratic equation, right? This looks like a quadratic. And you could look at where there's lots of stuff you can do with quadratics. But we had an equation we were trying to solve, and it was equals, was it 16? It was equals 16. No, it's not. It's equals 27. I was looking at the work. There. Okay. And so there we go. So we have two places where it crossed the x-axis. It crosses here. You can click and you'll see the value at 40, and it crossed here at negative 40. Though again, they're vertical lines. One is going through x equals 4, one's going through x equals negative 4. So there should have been two solutions to this problem, but the person who solved this forgot about the positive or negative when you take a square root, and they only got one. So if they had checked this in Desmos, they would have been able to say, oh shoot, we missed an answer. We don't have the whole solution. So in this column here, you're going to fill this in as you go. It says, is the work for this problem correct? Yes or no? And if yes, how did Desmos help you? Like, how did it help you check your work? And if no, fix the mistake. So on this one, you would say, no, it's not correct. And they forgot to look at the negative value of the square root of 16, and the actual answer would be x equals 4 and x equals negative 4. So for the what do you notice, you don't have to fill in what you notice, but for every one of these, there's something that checking in Desmos is going to help you out with. So over here, this column is the one you have to fill in. This one says find h of negative 4 given the function. So this is where you would replace all the x's with negative 4. And they did that here. And then you can check and see if they got the right value. It says, and it tells you here what to do. Type the function, and then type in another line, type this. So we could delete these and type them in 1 and 2, or we could just do this in 3 and 4. So I'm going to type exactly what it is. H of x equals 3x squared plus 2x minus 16. There's my function. And then I'm also going to type h of -4 in. H of -4. And Desmos knows that it's referring back to this function that I already gave it because I named this h of x. So it knows that h of -4 is going to put the -4 in here, and it's going to calculate that value. And that's what they give us as the answer, and the person who solved this got a different answer. So over here you can fix their mistake because they made one, obviously. This is just a few more things to do. This one has sliders, this last one here. It says click all to add sliders for M and B. Slide each parameter M and B to find the line that passes through the points. What do you notice? This is a really good one for finding the equation of a line. So it tells you what to type in a Desmos. You're going to type the points, -2, -1, and -2, 9. And then I'll have to type. I'm not going to do this problem. I'll do a different problem. And I'll make another one up. Oops, I need my parentheses to tell it that it's a point. And I'll turn this off. So I've got 2 points, and now in this one here, you type y equals mx plus b. And then it says add slider. It'll say that after you type that. And click on the all button, and it will add sliders for m and b. That means that right now it put a blue line, did not go through my black and my red line. But as I move this, I can get it so that it moves the line, and I want to try to adjust this as much as I can so that I can get that to go right through the lines. I can get really close. I can't get quite close enough. But you can get close enough because you'll have more patience than me. And, so my equation right now would be y equals 1.2x plus 5.3. That's not what this person has, but mine aren't exact yet. So I might play with them a little bit more, but I don't think, oh, that's really, really close. So you can get this as close as you can, and you'll probably find that his equation is not going to go through. Now this, I use different points, so it's not going to. But this equation will match the equation that the person found if they did it correctly. And if they didn't, then there you go. They made a mistake, and you'll know what to fill in for here. So as you do this assignment, it's not meant to just be turned in and done and never used again. The idea is that you can use Desmos to check things as you go using some of these tips. And you might want to save this, and as you solve equations, remember, oh yeah, there was a way to check the solution that was easier than plugging it back in and finding out if it works, but it would work for graphing, or we're not even necessarily using the graphing part in some of these. We're using it with their algebra graphing calculator tools. All right, have fun. Let me know if you have questions.